Hello, my name is Patrick Sparks, and this is presentation 2 for Comm 164. For my authentic cuisine experience, I chose to eat at a local restaurant in the Tower District called Cuca's. It is located on Olive and near Van Ness Avenue. I did some researching on the internet for some history about the restaurant. They do not have a website or a Facebook page, but there are numerous reviews on Yelp. Most of the reviews are great, but some prefer the original location, which is located on F Street in downtown Fresno. Most of the history of the restaurant I learned through the back of the menu in the restaurant. The first restaurant was opened in 1969 by Refugia Salcido, and in 1985 she passed down the traditional recipes to her granddaughter to carry on the family business and their cultural heritage. Lustig and Koester define culture on page 25 as, quote, "Culture is learned set of shared interpretations about beliefs, values, norms, and social practices which affect the behaviors of a relatively large group of people," end quote. I believe this means that most of what we do on a day basis is learned from the people around us subconsciously, and from the food we eat to the hobbies we like to enjoy. Culture has influenced us whether we know it or not. This can be related to my experience at Cuca's restaurant by simply walking into the restaurant. Upon entering, me and my friend were immediately greeted and informed to sit wherever we chose. The atmosphere was very relaxed, even though the dining room was not very large. I ordered the machaca con huevos, which is a combination of grilled onions and peppers with tender beef mixed together with eggs. The three major themes that I am focusing on when visiting the restaurant are cultural patterns, values, and social practices. On page 82, Lustig and Koester define social practices as, quote, "Social practices are the predictable behavior patterns that members of a culture typically follow. Thus, social practices are the outward manifestations of beliefs, values, and norms," end quote. While inside the restaurant, there was nothing but Mexican decor and music playing. The typical colors associated with Mexico were all adorned throughout the dining room. The heavy accent of our waitress made it even feel more authentic. The norms for them are to speak Spanish and to wear colorful clothing. The walls were decorated with cactuses and ribbons. They also had a selection of only Mexican beers. These are all types of social practices that I noticed throughout my experience. Cultural patterns are defined by Lustig and Koester on page 78 as, quote, "Shared beliefs, values, norms, and social practices that are stable over time and that lead to roughly similar behaviors across similar situations are known as cultural patterns," end quote. I have observed this many times while visiting other authentic Mexican restaurants like Cuca's. They all seem to have similar themes with relatively the same colors. Also, the menus are usually all in Spanish, as they are in Cuca's, and the waiters always know Spanish. Mexican food is so easy to find in these parts of the country because we're so close to Mexico. The difference between an authentic experience and a watered-down version usually depends on the atmosphere. If you go into Mexican restaurants and see nothing but pictures of Europe or the forest and weird random decor, your first reaction would be this isn't very authentic because they have cultural patterns that we have learned and obviously aren't present. My final theme is values. Lustig and Koester state on page 81, Quote, values involve what a culture regards as good or bad, right or wrong, fair or unfair, just or unjust, beautiful or ugly, clean or dirty, valuable or worthless, appropriate or inappropriate, and kind or cruel. End quote. While eating at Cuca's, I noticed that there was only one waitress running the entire floor during the dinner rush. In a normal American restaurant, there would at least be 2 people there to help, especially during those busy hours. The work ethic of the employee is much greater than any other local restaurant. She seemed very happy to serve us and to make us happy, despite being so busy, all the while tending to all her other customers. Unlike other American restaurants, our waitress was very patient with us and did not rush the bill on us. It was much more relaxed and calm compared to an American chain restaurant where they corral you in and try to get you out as quickly as possible to get the next customer in just for the buck. All in all, I would definitely eat more in local, authentic restaurants. Next time I will try food from more foreign or culture to me like Vietnamese or Iranian food. Thank you.